what is going on. Okay. All right, y'all. So we are live. I don't know how many people are going to be joining because this is going to be my second time going live, and I'm here today by myself. So today I'm going to be doing a really quick Turkish butter cookie. It's also pronounced kurabiye. Kurabiye. That's how I've written it down. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Turkish butter cookie. Now, today is usually the day that I do our date nights at home, and today we're going to be visiting Turkey, so I'm making a bunch of Turkish style recipes. One of them is going to be the butter cookie. Last night I made let me show you. I made a homemade pomegranate molasses, which wasn't that hard to make. Now, you can buy this at the store. I didn't have a store near me that sold the pomegranate molasses, but I'm going to be using this in a salad that I'm going to be making later today. It has like cucumber, mint, and different things like that. But if you can see, it's like a thick, as you can see, it coats the spoon. It's a thick pomegranate sauce. And you just basically boil it down on your stove for about an hour, a little bit over an hour. It took me about an hour and 20 minutes. And it thickened, and then I just put it in my little mason jar here, and I'm going to be using that tonight in a salad. But you came here today because we're going to be making the butter cookie, the Turkish butter cookie, or again, the kurabiye. Kurabiye. And it's a really simple cookie to make. Now, you can also do these date nights. You can do a date night for your Valentine's Day. Now, Valentine's Day in the United States evolved from the British tradition from a British tradition, which they used to do like a Victorian calling day where they would go around and leave cards for the women and like get snacks and stuff like that. But that was like near New Year's Day. But it evolved from British traditions, and it is now a major commercial holiday. And that evolved in about the 19th century. Okay, so this basically came out of like Massachusetts, Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day is not really a big holiday for me, just because you should show love to everybody that you know on a daily basis, as much as possible, because you never know when you won't have that person. And then it also makes a lot of people who don't have significant others, sad and depressed. You know what I'm saying? And when I say significant other, I mean whoever you rocking with. You know what I'm saying? Whoever you rocking, I ain't knocking. That's all I'm saying. So, okay. So Valentine's Day to me, it's just another day. My cousin's birthday is on the 14th, and my husband's birthday is like the 13th. And so I do celebrate those. But other than that, yeah, I don't really do the gift thing. You know what I'm saying? Because we do date night every Saturday. So we kind of got our little traditions going here. All right, so we're going to get into making this Turkish butter cookie. So you're going to need 1 stick of butter. And I have unsalted butter here. And I was reading that in Turkey, they don't really, well, maybe back in the day in Turkey, they didn't use a lot of butter because butter was an expensive ingredient. So they use like margarine, or you can even use like butter Crisco, which I'm going to be using tomorrow in a toffee cookie recipe that I'm going to be making. And these are going to be all small batch. I've been learning to curve back the amount of food that I make, so that it's enough just for me and my husband. I was used to cooking for like 6. So you have to scale that back. Okay, so to our 1 stick of butter, you're going to need about a 1/4 tablespoon of vanilla. And I have those little Dowla. I'm going to use 1/2 tablespoon because I like vanilla. I have those little dial back measuring cups. When you clean these, you got to like pop this off. You know what I'm saying? Because you see, it get all up under there. Okay, so you want to add your vanilla. Now, I'm going to try to cream this butter because it's room temp, but it ain't as soft as I usually like it. So I'm going to try to cream this with the vanilla here. And as you can see, it ain't doing such a good job. Excuse the noise, but it is live, y'all. Okay, I think that's as good as we're going to get with that. All right. So now I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. And I'm going to see if I can get this to cream better. Now, the thing about these cookies is you need to refrigerate them. Once we shape them, we're going to have to refrigerate for about 2 hours. So you won't see me baking these, but I will be back later because we're going to do the salad live. And I might do where I season our fish as well. So that's a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. I just have like a basic cornstarch. Since Walmart is the closest store to me and they're like one of the cheapest, I buy most of my stuff from Walmart. And I don't know if that's necessarily good, but it's, you know, what we have to do because you have to give your business to somebody. Okay. So I'm going to add my first 1/8 cup of flour, and then we're going to try to blend this together. And then you're going to need another cup of flour. So that was an 1/8 cup of flour. And now we're going to try to blend this together here. This is my first time cooking live with YouTube, so, and I'm by myself. Like I said, my husband is usually here, but he is at work today. Now, when he gets home, we probably do a live on YouTube as well, and we do lives on TikTok all the time, so you can join us over there. Okay, so this is not blending in as well as I thought. All right, so we don't need, let me get a wooden spoon here. Like I said, you want your butter soft, and mine was not. Make sure your hands are clean. My hands are clean. I'm going to wash them again because I'm probably going to be using my hands to mix some of this because my butter was not as soft as I wanted. I know I do a lot of videos, right? And so somebody was like, you sure use your hands a lot? And I was like, it's called cooking. I mean, what am I supposed to use, my feet? I don't know. And if you make a comments, I can't see, and I can't even see if I have anybody in here. But yeah, we're going to get this here mashed all up because we're going to try to get these cookies made live here. So let me wash my hands because we still got more dry ingredients that we got to add here. Okay. Not too many more wet. So that's the thing with the Turkish cookie. That's the thing with like shortbreads too. You basically just are adding like sugar and flour. So let me get my hands washed because we're going to be using our hands to mix this up. Okay. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday morning. It is now, what time is it? Let me look here on my Alexa. It's 12 o'clock. So when I cook, usually I have music playing. I don't know if YouTube allows you to do that. And I play a lot of Toni Braxton music here. Now, I love her music. And I know that she was supposed to be live here in St. Louis. And she's doing a tour with like Boyz II Men. And who is it? New Edition. New Edition and Boyz II Men. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll go. Because I've never been to a concert in my life. And one of the reasons is because I refuse to pay these people all this damn money. And then I'd be like, well, you know, my electric bill due. And I'm like, damn it, I gave it to Toni Braxton. No. So I won't do it. Okay. So that was one more cup of flour that you're going to need. And then you're also going to need about a 1/3 cup of powdered sugar. So we're going to add that all in here. So she was visiting St. Louis. I know she's going to be here in March. And I was like, I looked up the ticket prices. And I'm cheap, like I said. And they were like $135 each. And my husband was like, you want to go? Now we want to mix this together. And I was like, no, not for $135. You know how much that is for 2 people? So, no, I'm not doing it. Okay, so you want to get this mixed up. And then the one thing about these is that you form them. And then you put them in the refrigerator for about 2 hours, like I was saying. So, let's get this mixed up here. And it says that these are really brittle cookie. And as you can see, it's not mixing up as well as you would think it would with a whole stick of butter in there. Okay, so I don't know if we're going to be live on TikTok. I know a lot of people are dropping their TikTok accounts. And I just went over on TikTok, which is kind of messed up. As soon as I go over on there, everybody's dropping it because they're saying like they're censoring certain content. And I thought they did that on all social media sites. And then like they're owned by a billionaire or something. And I'm like, ain't all social media sites owned by billionaires? And aren't they all owned by Trump friends? And don't they all track you because you got to put your information in? But that was, I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, so you can see this is starting to come together. I don't even have a Facebook because, yeah, I just don't have a Facebook account. Never really got into that. And then, like I said, finally when I got on TikTok, everybody's leaving now. So just kind of sad, you know? So I'm going to try to grab this all together here. And then I might take you guys outside because I have chamomile sprouting, germinated. And I took it out and put it in the greenhouse because I went out there this morning. And even though it's 12 degrees outside, it's probably about 40, 50 degrees in my greenhouse. And it's really well lit. So it's better than having them in the house under lights. So I took them outside. And then I also have some greens sprouting up. So they are outside right now in the greenhouse. So I'm going to see if I can take y'all out there. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now, as you can see, this is all sticking together. Okay, now I'm going to move this out of the way. And then I'm going to bring over my pan. And you want to cover your pan with some parchment paper, like I've done here. Okay, so I'm going to break off a piece of my dough here. And I'm going to shape it in like a circular shape here. You see how brittle these are? This is why you have to refrigerate them. Okay, so I'm going to roll it. Boy, turkey, y'all got some difficult sugar cookies. Turkey, y'all got some difficult cookies. Turkish butter cookies. Okay, so I got that formed here. And then I'm just going to chop it off. These are about a 1/2 inch. Shape them a little bit better here. And then put them on my parchment paper. And then you want these to be solid before you bake them so that they don't spread on your cookie sheet. That's the point of the Turkish butter cookie. So we're going to put these down on our tray. You might have to do a little bit more forming with your hand because this is difficult to hold together. This would be the one that I would do live here. Okay, so we forming that. And then you want to put them on your tray. Okay. And then this is a small batch recipe, so if it's just you and your significant other, it will be perfect. You'll have some left that you can eat tomorrow. Now, tomorrow I'm going to be making some slow cooker garlic honey chicken wings and a homemade blue cheese salad dressing. Okay, so cut those. Shape them. You see the idea here, right? So let me see if I can get all of these done. This is messy. Okay, so I'm forming my cookies here. I am really trying to concentrate on this just because they keep falling apart when I put them in my hand. Okay. Now I'm gonna try to get the rest is in this bowl combined here. cooking it sometimes. I remember playing with my cousins when we would play in like dirt and make like different stuff. And it just reminds me so much of that. Get these crumbs off here. Okay. These are the last of the Turkish butter cookies here. And then you guys can see what it looks like outside right now. Because it's supposed to snow again at like 4 a.m. That's what Alexa told me. But sometimes Alexa can be off. And it did snow this morning. We got like a dusting when my husband was leaving for work. And when I say this morning, he leaves very early. He left very early this morning. And it was snowing. And there was like a little layer of snow on the car. So it was snowing this morning. Okay, so now we have all our cookies formed. Now I have a fork here. And you want to press down a little fork pattern in the top of your cookies. See? And that's even breaking them up, but still, they're cute. They're cute. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to cover these, and then they're going to go in our refrigerator for about 2 hours. I missed one. I missed the tiniest one of all. Okay, and that is the Turkish butter cookie for our turkey date night in Turkey. So we're going to have some whole tilapia. Let me tell you what else is on the menu. We have some whole Turkish style baked tilapia, Turkish balloon bread, and then, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but a Kurabiye salad and these Turkish butter cookies. So it's going to be a nice evening tonight. And yeah, that's what we do for our romance. So let me get on some different shoes. I'm going to take you guys outside so you can get a glimpse inside of the greenhouse and see the new seedlings that I got outside. So let me just throw on some different shoes. I'm going to get my Maximus. Max. You going? Yes, come on. Open up the door so we can get out here. Get on a little jacket. All right, Max. We're going to go outside. We're going to get those cookies put in once we come off the line. Let me unplug you out here. Come on, Max. Go ahead. You can see what it looks like out here. It is snow to the... This snow is not melting. It's a nice, bright, and sunny day, too. Do you see Max's? Max, come here. Okay, so we're going to go in the greenhouse here. Now, I'm going to show y'all the stuff that I... Girl, that looks... Say hi. Hey, how y'all doing? Max? I'm going to let him come in and say hello. Max? It sounds as he's stuck in some snow. Here he is. Come here. There he is. There he is. Yeah. He's having fun running around in the snow, so he's not really wanting to come in here. Okay, so as you can see, these are steamed up. So it's pretty warm in here. It's probably about 50 degrees inside this greenhouse, which is really nice. So I'm going to leave these out here until later tonight. Then I'm going to come out and bring them back in the house. But I bought a little solar heater, and it's so bright and sunny today. I'm wondering if this is actually going to power up enough to come on, because it has not. It has not powered on. But yeah, this should heat the space really nicely, because it was saying like it can heat up your chicken coop in a smaller greenhouse. And this greenhouse is like 6 by 8. So it's not that big. And so it's really, like I said, it's really nice and warm in here. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all what has sprouted so far, what I got germinated. Okay, so if you can see, this is Kamatsuna. That is a mustard green. And you can see that they have sprouted. I'm so happy about that. And some collards coming up. What is this back here? Collards. Okay, that's in this tray. So they are out here getting the sun, having their best life. Okay, then in this tray here, we have, this is chamomile. Now I'm gonna let these get a little bit bigger because the roots on these do not like to be disturbed. And their seeds are so small that it's almost impossible not to plant them this close together. Like the seeds are like teeny tiny. So I'm gonna see how big these can get before I can start transferring them. And the roots on these do not like to be disturbed. So I'm gonna see how I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna make it do what it do. Okay, and then we all have germinating some endive, which I was like pleased to see. You can see those little bitty seedlings there. That's really nice. So I keep them covered in here, but as you can see, it's really bright and nice in here, and they get better sun than under my lamps in the house. I have like lights for indoor seed germination, and yeah, they get better light out here in the greenhouse, and it's nice and warm, and they're like outside, so that's great. But I don't know if y'all have seen the inside of my greenhouse. Let me give you a view of the outside. This was $250 on Amazon. My husband bought it for me for Christmas. And the door has a little lock on it. Came with a little lock on the door. Now I got to figure out how I'm gonna lock it from inside, because when I'm inside, it's blowing around. The door blows around, so I got to figure out what I'm gonna do about that. And then, as you can see, it's pretty big. Pretty big. It has rain spouts, well, gutters. My husband just didn't put them on yet. And then these are my solar lights for my solar lights that I have inside. And then this is for the solar heater, and I have them attached here. And then we put on some caulk to seal it too, so that the panels don't blow around. So that is holding pretty tight. It's no leakage on the inside. So that's really nice as well. And then this is one of the spouts. He just didn't screw it on, but it came with spouts. And you can see how big it is. It's about 6 by 8. And so it's pretty nice. I'm really pleased with it. And then this is like the little window that you can let up. I'm going to look inside. It's really nice. Okay, so you can unlock your door and go in. It's probably about 12 degrees outside, but in here, it's about 50. It's a really nice space. So you see what I mean about the door, right? So I need to do something to where it's not blowing open. I'm going to have to get some kind of latch system to go inside, so when I'm in here, I can close the door and then keep the heat in, because that's really nice. Okay. And then these shelves were from another greenhouse that I had, and I ordered that one off Amazon as well, but it was like the whole, like those one kinds of greenhouses that have like the little plastic that covers them. It was leaking. It basically just wilted. What do we call that? Where just the sun just destroyed it. So it was no good. But the shelving units were still in perfect condition. So I just tore it apart and I put them inside of this greenhouse, and they fit perfectly, as you can see. And there were 2 sides. So I have shelving units in here now. I do not keep my seeds in here because I don't know if it might leak, or I have like rodents that could get in that could eat those up. So I do not leave those out in the greenhouse. But I do bring out my soils, as you can see. And then we put this on here because this window here was blowing open. And I need to find something. I don't know how my husband got this on here, but I am not trying to mess with it. So you can see this window lets up to let in air, let some cool air in if you want to sit out here. Because I'm going to be doing a lot of seating out here. And then I have lights that we put around here, some solar lights. You saw the panel outside, and they're pretty lit up at night. So that's cool. But yeah, it has a little window in it that you can open up. It's a really nice space. And then I bought this table here off of Target.com. I know about Target. Please don't tell me about Target. I know all about Target. And so this was like $99, and I figured it was like perfect for the space because it also has a potter in the back. And I haven't put anything in here yet because I haven't put anything in here, but I plan on planting something in here. It's going to be nice. But yeah, this is my space, and it came with 2 chairs and a little eating table, or you can do your seating here. And then this table folds down, but I'm not gonna fold it down right now just because I got stuff sitting on top of it. But yeah, I hope you try out that butter cookie recipe. And then this was just another testing on live, and we may be back tonight because I want to show you how those butter cookies came out. But you can look out for that video because I'm definitely going to film that. And then look out for the video for the pomegranate molasses. You can make that homemade yourself. You don't have to go to the store to buy it. And then throw yourself a date night. I might try to do videos on lives on Saturdays with like at least one dish to let you guys see some of the stuff that I make on Saturdays for our date nights, and maybe you can make some of those recipes too. It's pretty fun when we do our date nights. Somebody was saying like, what do we really, we're both about, I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 in July. He'll be 52 February 13th. So a lot of people say like, oh, y'all relationship still fire. Yes, it is. I have to say, yes, it is. So we've been married 31 years this year, and I try to keep it lively, and you should too. No matter in what, how long you've been married, you should try to keep that, or how long you've been in a relationship, because not everybody gets married either. So yeah, yeah. All right, y'all. So I think I'm gonna end this live. But yeah, that was a view of my greenhouse, and we made some Turkish butter cookies. So I hope to see you guys later tonight. I'm thinking about if I'm going to go live to show you guys the results of our recipes, of our work, because we did do some work. We put some work in. So let me close this up. Now, this is another thing. There we go. Got that closed up. And let me show you this other greenhouse. When I was talking about like the greenhouses that I have, here he is. And that he tried to bring that toy in the house the other day, and I was like, hell no. Hell no. Okay, so this greenhouse right here is from Aldi, and the door like ripped off, but I put on a cloth, and I keep like my pots and stuff in there like when I'm doing my planting for the next year. So this is basically like a little storage greenhouse, and it actually works still. Like I can put stuff in here. It's still pretty good. It's not like worn away like the other one. But yeah, this is from Aldi, and it did better than one that I paid like $60 for online. This thing was like $20 at Aldi. So if you, I don't know if they are still as quality as this one was, but if you see those little greenhouses at Aldi's, buy one, because they're pretty good if you're into gardening. And this, I've had this one now for about 4 years, and it's still pretty nice. It's just, I just had to put something over it when the door blew off. But yeah, so these little greenhouses like this work really well. Okay, so I can't wait to have this back with the gourds. And then here's my new greenhouse, y'all. All right, so I'm gonna end this live, but I had a great time. I don't know how many people were joining because I really don't know how to do the stuff on YouTube yet. But I had a wonderful time. Let me see. Hello, Audie. I had a wonderful time, and I will see you guys either tonight in a live, or we might go live tomorrow on a field trip with the hubby. It's usually pretty fun. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, and there's Max. All right, y'all. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't followed, subscribed, because I think it's subscribe on YouTube and it's follow on TikTok. But if you haven't, follow me, and I will see you guys in the next live video. Look out for the video on the finished cookies.